Barbecue Church family. Hope everything's going good for y'all. I'm in the backyard. I'm cooking. I got some, what I got on there? Got some chicken thighs on. Wife made some corn. So, painted the house. Some guys they painted my hallway. My wife doesn't like it. They didn't do the best job. It is what it is. But we still here. Just got back from a trip. Saw some homies. Went over to St. Louis. Went up in that Gateway Arch. I'm not about that life, but I went up in that junk anyway. They put you in this little, this small little thing to carry you up to the top. It's like half Ferris wheel, half elevator, nah, man. That ain't it, chief. I wasn't about that life. But I went up, I was there though. I ain't no punk. I was there though. So yeah. So life is good. We're just going into a heavy travel season here in a little bit. Got some big trips going on. So I'll be on the road a little bit. I might sandbag a couple of sermons, get them ready so that they're out there, so that they're ready to go. Just in case. I'll be in New Jersey, so I'll have time, but who knows what's going to happen out there. I love it out there. I love that trip. Praying that there's no rain, because last year there was a lot of rain, and lots of rain means less money for the team, Not for me, I get paid the same, but, that venue, they're friends of mine. I really like those guys, so, we got to pray that their money comes up, so, which is why I'm there, because if I'm there, we get more people in. The faster we get people in, the faster they can buy tickets and ride stuff and eat glorious fair food. So anyway, what I'm really feeling right now is this whole thought. I have it written out. It says when the smoke clears, but I have a lot of homies that are dealing with a lot, man. A lot of people are going through some stuff, and it just kind of made me think about it all. And I'm going, when you have a brisket, when you have a pork butt, whenever you're smoking stuff, but especially a brisket, because it's high. Brisket is one of those tricky things because it can be finicky, and brisket it's expensive. So there's a lot on the line whenever you're smoking it. And when brisket hits that stall, it doesn't look right. It's not the temp, and it just sits at that temperature, and you're just like, yo, should I just throw this thing out? Or if you ruin it, or if you cook it a little too fast and it gets hot, way too hot, too fast, and then it seizes up, and then you're freaking out. There's just a lot to it. And so you have to make the decision on, do you throw it out? Do you crank the smoker? Do you pull it off and just throw it in the oven? Do you wrap it in aluminum foil, which you shouldn't do? What's the case? What happens whenever things start going wrong? What happens whenever it reaches temp too fast? What happens when a fire hits? What happens? I'm thinking about our life. What happens when life just throws you that curveball? What happens when you get a bad health diagnosis? When it just hits you out of left field? What happens when, you're searching for a job and you're interviewing and you think you got it and you don't? We got homies that are dealing with this. Right now, I had a homie. He's actually preached for us before. I was supposed to go down and help him move, and I was going to come down. I was just going to drive his truck to his new house, right? And the people who were buying his house ended up pulling out last minute, and it was a contingency thing, and so he couldn't move into the new one. He couldn't even get the new, and it was a whole ordeal. And you're just going, I don't know what God's doing in this. I don't know. You're thinking, I don't know if God can recover. And a lot of people like to put a lot on God. They like to go, okay, everything happens for a reason. Cool. A lot of times, sometimes bad stuff just happens. World is an evil place. World is a bad place. Bad happens. Weeds grow. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes people like to say healthy things grow. Yeah, healthy things grow, but weeds grow too. Bad things happen. So what's your response? Matthew 7:24, it says, anyone who listens to my teachings and follows it is wise, like a person who builds his house on a solid rock. Though the rain comes like torrents and the floodwaters rise and the wind beats against the house, it will not collapse because it is built on bedrock. But anyone who hears my teaching and does not listen and does not obey is foolish, like a person who builds his house on sand. When the rains come and the floods come and the wind beats against the house, it will collapse with a mighty crash. When we're following what God is calling us to do and what God is speaking to our lives, we're building our house on the rock. And when you're doing those things, so the floods are coming. This is when the floods come. It doesn't say if, it says when the floods come, you're already on the rock. Whenever you sit on the beach, whenever you ever stand on the beach and you just stand where the waves are hitting and then they pull away, you know how like right underneath your feet, as that water comes up and hits your feet and then recedes, all the water, all the sand from under your feet just goes away. You know, you can't just be built on sand. You can't be built on things that aren't rock. Building our things off of just false hopes and false pretenses, it just doesn't work. It's saying build your house on the things of God. All right. You got to face the situation. It says the Lord, Psalm 34, the Lord is close to the brokenhearted. He rescues those whose spirits are crushed. And it's real easy to get your spirit crushed out here in these streets. It is. It's mad easy. You know, and it's hard to keep the faith sometimes. It's hard to sit there and be like, okay, God, like, you know, my buddy Tavares with his house. It's like, okay, God, I trust you. God's going to come through. But how? Like, this dude had a full truck. His truck was full and he was ready to move when he got the call that the deal fell through. You know what I'm saying? Like what do you do? But God is there. God says he is close to the brokenhearted. It's okay. You don't have to deny the pain. You don't have to deny that you're hurt. You don't have to deny that you have feelings. You have feelings, man. You sad. You angry. It's okay. Admit that. Admit it. Doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're real. And then talk to God. All right? And then you put your hope in the rock. All right? Psalm 46, God is our refuge and strength, always ready to help in times of trouble. Right? So we will not fear when an earthquake comes and the mountains crumble into the sea. Let the oceans roar and foam. Let the mountains tremble as the waters surge. All right, God is our refuge. That means he's our covering. He's the place that we run to whenever things are shaking. Refuge, fortress. He's our strength. So talk to him. He's going to make that thing work. And shift from why, asking why, to shifting to the who. In 2 Corinthians 4:8, it says, we are pressed on every side by troubles, but we are not crushed. So we're pressed but not crushed, y'all. All right? So you can be pressed. You just ain't crushed. You squeezed, but you ain't broken. All right? We are perplexed and not driven to despair. We are hunted down but never abandoned by God. We get knocked down and we are not destroyed. Okay? Look at who God is. We don't have to have an answer to the why things have happened. The why. People like to say, why did God let this happen? Again, weeds grow. Evil works. It's out there in these streets. All right? Stop asking the why. Who? Hey, God, I need you. I need you to work through this. We need to learn how to worship. We need to learn how to just thank God for the things that are going on. Thank God and say, God, I trust you. You know, I put on some worship music. If you need some worship playlist from some Spotify or YouTube, I can put them together. Reach out to me. I'll do it. But sometimes you just need to play some worship and just worship God and just sing a song, man. Sing a song. All right. And then Galatians 6, it says, share each other's burdens and in this way obey the law of Christ. All right. Get with the homies. I'm out here. We got other barbecue church homies out here. We got other people who love Jesus everywhere. Get with them. Pray. Be with them so that you're not feeling so down and you're not just by yourself. Stop letting yourself be in your head and not having anybody to talk to and feeling like you can't talk to nobody. Nah, man, talk to somebody. All right. And then press. Like a lot of homies, like even the homies that I'm referencing in this situation, like I have homies that are going through all this stuff. All the stuff I'm talking about, they're going through it right now, but they've all talked to me. They've reached out because we homies and they know that I got them. They know that I'm praying. Listen, Tavares called me today talking about all this mess just happened on Thursday. Or Thursday? Technically Wednesday. Wednesday, because I was supposed to go to his house on Thursday. All that stuff happened, right? So on Wednesday, he found out that the buyer for his house, where he was, fell through. They pulled out, right? And then, so that's Wednesday. On Friday, they had a new offer on the house, and they're in contract now. You see what I'm saying? Like, don't freak out. God's going to work it out. It may not be in 2 days. It may not be in 3 days, but God is going to bless us, right? Just stay the course. Focus. Ask God what in you needs to change so that you can continue to move forward. Is there anything in you that's not like God that needs to change? And then just trust God in it. Pray through it. Worship through it. Sing some songs. Sing some worship. Like, you look at when they talk about the Jericho, whenever they went into the promised land, man, they sang some songs and God came through. They're like, yo, we about to blow some trumpets. God was like, walk around, don't say nothing. And then when you go around the last time, I want you to blow some trumpets and sing some songs. Like, bro, God does it, yo. So let's trust God. Let's let him handle this mess. Don't get caught up, man. Don't lose hope. Don't lose faith. God says, be strong, be courageous. He's our fortress. He's our our stronghold. So let's run that, y'all. All right, I believe in y'all. I love y'all. If y'all need anything, holler at your boy. We continuing to pray. We won't continue to pray. Continue to believe. Keep it pushing. I'm gonna see if this smoker's done. I'm rocking the Green Mountain Grill. Shout out to Jason and the homies out there. They're good people. So, all right. Well, I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Let's keep it moving. We out here in these streets. Gang, gang, baby. Gang, gang.